Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing how to grow your business. The light here is terrible. Jeez Louise. Let me turn a little bit. It's still terrible. Okay. And sounds like somebody's vacuuming outside right now. Question is, how does a buyer's agent get paid on a for sale by owner? So it's an interesting question, and the question really can be asked from both sides. Right? It can be asked, I can't believe how bad the light is here. The question could be based on whether you're an agent and you want to know if you can get paid on a FSBO, for sale by owner deal, or whether you're selling by owner and you want to know if you're going to have to pay an agent. So let's talk about a few things. If you stay to the end, I'm going to talk to you why I generally think that for sale by owner is a huge mistake. But let's talk about how buyers agents get paid. So in general, if something's not listed on the MLS, on the multiple listing service, and a buyer brings his own client to see it, a buyer's agent brings a client to see it, he is not, no one's obligated to pay him. You're taking a risk that you might get screwed out of your commission. That is the truth. You can certainly tell your client, listen, we're going to see something. If I bring this to you and you buy it, you're going to have to pay me my commission. And then whatever that is, 2%, you can say, listen, on this situation, in general, most of the time, you are not going to pay my commission. It's going to be paid by the seller. So just explain how things happen on a regular situation. That is, I can't stand this I don't know if you can hear this noise. This noise is driving me crazy. I want to punch somebody in the face. So in general, there's a listing agent who lists the property, and let's say the commission is 4%. And in general, it'll split it 50-50 with the buyer's agent. So the buyer's agent will take 2% if there's a buyer's agent. If there's no buyer's agent, usually the listing agent will take the whole commission. Now, if something's not listed on the MLS, and a buyer's agent will usually tell buyers, hey, I'm free, right? You don't pay me anything. I get paid by the seller. That's 90% of the selling job, right? I'll go do the work for you, look for the houses, you tell me what you want, and it doesn't cost you anything, and it's great. However, occasionally, you're gonna see something where there's no commission to the buyer's agent, or it's a FSBO, a for sale by owner, and in that case, you're gonna have to have a conversation with your client and say, hey, you're gonna have to pay my commission if you buy this house, right? That's one possibility. Now, if you're selling something for sale by owner, you can offer a 2% commission to an agent. Now, 90% of the time, what I've seen is that the person that is listing the property for sale by owner, FSBO, is because they don't want to pay commission, right? Now, I'll tell you in a couple of minutes, I'll tell you why it's a terrible idea, but you certainly can say, hey, I'm going to pay 2% or 1.5% to a buyer's agent, and say, okay, I'm still saving some money, but that's the way I want to do it. But sometimes what happens is that somebody will show up and they'll say, hey, I want to buy this house. And then you'll get a call and you'll start negotiating. You'll get a call 3 days later saying, hey, I'm the buyer's agent. You're going to owe me commission. Now, you could tell him to go screw himself if it's not listed on the MLS. There's no legal obligation to do it. But just understand things like that happen. Now, whoa, I just threw my keys. Now, but you have that option when you're for selling by owner. Now, the reasons why I think it's a horrible idea to sell something for sale by owner, right? There are really 3 ways to sell a house. You can list it with an agent on the multiple listing service, which if the house is in good shape and there's no municipal problems like open permits or open violations, it's so much better when that noise stops, then, and you're not at any time constraint, then you want to list it with an agent. That's your best way. If you have other problems, if you have a time constraint or the property's in terrible condition, you might want to sell it to an investor. That makes sense too. But for sale by owner process is a terrible process because you're not going to show the property to as many people as you think. I know if you're somebody who looks on Zillow and you think that a property that's listed on Zillow is going to be seen by everybody, you're mistaken. You may look at it, but there are millions of people who don't look at Zillow at all. The idea when you want to sell a property, you want to maximize the amount of money for it, you want to get the most out of it, you want to show it to as many people as possible. So if you list it with an agent, you're going to show it to as many people as possible, and then it automatically ends up on Zillow and all those other places. So that is I gotta move. So that is the reason why. So that's the reason why you might want to list it with an agent if you want to max out. Well, if you list it for sale by owner, you never know if you got your price. So I know many occasions where people who listed it for themselves, for sale by owner, and had a number in mind, right? They thought, well, my house is worth $500,000, and they sold it for that number, and they sold it for significantly less. You'll never know for sale by owner situation if you could have got more money. If you listed with an agent, you'll know that you maxed out because you showed it to the most amount of people that could see it. So the idea that you're going to save the commission and therefore you're going to sell it by yourself is usually a bad idea, because you're usually going to lose much more than the commission's value by not showing the property, by not letting as many people as possible get to see the property. That is my firm opinion. And in today's market, right, I'm filming this at the end of September 2021, the market's so hot, things are going above asking left and right. You'll never know if you left a lot of money on the table if you sell it by owner. If you list it with an agent and everybody can see it, then I think you'll know that you got the most out of it, whatever price you got. And that could be more or less than your asking price, because you might be asking too much. But it's a huge mistake, in my opinion, to FSBO, to for sale by owner property. I think it's really, it's a mistake. And now I'm not saying there aren't situations where, people come to me and they go, oh, everything's so hot here, I can just put a sign out and sell in 5 minutes. You might sell it in 5 minutes. I'm not saying you can't, but you'll never know if your price was the highest, right? You want a bidding war. I don't want a bidding war. I want a bidding war when I sell my properties. I love bidding wars, right? That means I know I maxed out every dollar that I could. So the idea that somehow you want this to be some gentleman's agreement, where some guy rolls up to your house, walks in, offers you your asking price, you shake hands, and then you close 2 weeks later, it usually is a foolish situation. If that happens, you probably left a lot of money on the table, and you probably could have got more. So in general, if you're a buyer's agent, you have to have that. So I had a situation where I almost never represent buyers, but sometimes I want to buy a property from someone and they have no place to go. And if they have no place to go, they tell me, listen, you find me someplace and I'll leave. And I am actively looking to find them a place. So I represent them as a buyer. And I had a situation like that, and I found the house, and he fell in love with it. I did not even look to see that there was zero commission to the buyer's agent. And to be honest with you, that is probably why I was able to go get the house, because most buyer's agents are not going to bring their clients to a situation where they're not going to get paid, right? Most agents in general won't. I didn't care, because I wanted to buy the guy's house, and I didn't really care about the commission on it. Now in the end, the guy ended up throwing me some commission out of the goodness of his heart, which was nice. But I've seen a lot of situations where some people listed a property. They said, I'm only paying 1.5% commission to the listing agent. Listing agent wrote 0% commission to buyer's agent, and nobody came to see the house, because the buyer's agents aren't coming to work for free. They don't want it. And what's going to happen many times is you're going to have to realize that people do what they're incentivized to do. They don't do what they're not going to get paid to do. So this idea that I'm going to save money, I mean, this is a situation where I didn't end up buying that house, but I almost ended up buying that house at a severe discount, because the guy had it listed for 6 months and no one came to see it. I think he should have showed it twice, because no buyer's agents brought them. You have to understand the rules of the game and how the game is played. But it's foolish to say I'm going to save myself even 4% on a $500,000, which is $20,000. Say I'm going to try to save $20,000, and you're going to end up selling a house for $50,000 or $60,000 less than you could have. It's not usually the right way to go. That is my thoughts on for sale by owner and on how buyer's agents get paid in a FSBO situation. So if you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in finding out more about the course I teach on how to do what I do, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. I think that's right, yes. If you're interested in finding out more about coaching, one-on-one coaching, there's no obligation, but you go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. By the way, it's ridiculously cheap. I got to raise my prices. And if you are interested in, I think that's all the things I offer. But if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any channel, please click like. The thumbs up really help me. They help my search engine optimization. And please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what the hell I'm talking about to talk about. So ask me any question. It doesn't have to be on the video you're watching. And if it's a simple answer, I'll just respond. If it's a topic I've covered before, then I'll send you links to the videos where I've covered it. If it's something new, then I'll do a new video on it. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very, very much.